welcome to Flourish with Kendra. I'm a gardener in Virginia Zone 8A, and I want to give you guys a tour of my newly expanded garden. So if you've been watching me or been subscribed, you know that I have been working on expanding my garden for the last few weeks, and it is almost completely done. I still need to add the border to the perimeter of my garden and also run my drip irrigation system. But other than that, it is pretty much done. So I can show you guys what it looks like now. So here is the garden. Mind the mess right here because it is a complete mess. But this is pretty much how the garden is looking. I really do love my new layout. And if you remember, I only had like this space from those 2 beds over, and then I think 3 beds here. So I only had a little bit of space to garden in, and it was working just fine, but I felt like my beds were too close together. So I wanted to make sure that my aisleways were big enough that I could walk through with my dump cart or just working the plants or harvesting things comfortably without bumping plants and things like that. But I also wanted to make sure that my plants had enough space for airflow and a good amount of sunlight, because I noticed that some of my plants, when they were over there and the beds were closer together, they weren't doing well during the seasons because they were too close together. I was getting like powdery mildew on certain things because they needed to be spaced out. I have a pretty good amount of growing space, so I'm going to start up here. And I transplanted some onions out here, so I have a few out here that I put in here, some lettuce, and I transplanted my garlic from the other bed into here. And there will be tomato plants in this bed, like where you see like the empty spaces, there will be tomato plants. And then over here, some extra garlic. After I was done planting in the other beds, I just moved it out here. So I also have onions in this bed as well, and spinach that will be in the middle of eggplants up here and tomato plants in the back. Now hopefully everything goes well with that, just because these beds are a little low, and I know that tomatoes need a decent amount of root space so that they can grow to their max or maturity. I've had issues before, like I'm like, why is this plant not doing what I needed to do? But it was because I had it in too small of a pot. Let's see what else. Now when I transplanted these, they started looking a little sad. If you can see, like the tips started turning brown, and these were all, the leaves, the green parts were all flopped over, but like the middle leaves have started to stand back up. So I don't know if I should just cut this off or just leave it be. I think I'm gonna just leave it be, and hopefully I get a good harvest of garlic. This is really my first serious time attempting to grow garlic. Now these purple bags that are in the front, I got from Bootstrap Farmer. And I sowed some leeks in here, and I transplanted some leeks in here, and these will be for my determinate tomatoes. And I already put the tomato cages in there. I do have some bamboo sticks that I plan to also stake the tomatoes with, but I went ahead and put the leeks in there. And then this is like my old trellis that I had already had. And we can go to this bed first. So over here I have already I direct sowed some Wando shelling peas up here in the front. And I did some nasturtiums in the corners. And this bed will have squash. So where you see like blank spaces, there will be squash in there. And here would be a tomato plant, but I think that may be a bad idea just because of how big, maybe that's zucchini. I think that gets super big, but we'll see. I'll just put 1 tomato, 1 squash, and then I have some dill. I have another dill here, celery, and some little onions I found right here in my other beds. Back here I have more of the purple bags that I plan to use for my tomato plants. And I have 2 more on each side of my little greenhouse back there. And then let's go to this bed over here. Now in this bed, I already have some, I think these are bunching onions that I transplanted out here. Some radishes that have started to sprout up here. And then in here, I have some fava beans. Look how pretty these are. I have one that's sprouting, another one sprouting here. So they're starting to come up. And I think I'm going to put a tomato plant in here as well. And cucumbers will be on this one. And I also have I direct sowed some pole beans in here. We are supposed to be getting some really, really good days. So I'm really crossing my fingers that these seeds come up, because we had a cold. It was cold. It's kind of chilly today, but it was cold yesterday. But the rest of this week is supposed to warm up. And so I'm really hoping that things go well. I'll come back for the green stalks at the end, but we can come to this bed. I don't know if you guys remember, but in my 10-foot by 3-foot beds, I had a green crop cage. That is what I made these crop cages, these mini ones, out of, that go over the 4 beds. And these beds are from Vego Garden, but I got the crop cages from Amazon. They had a green netting over them, and I just broke them down and put some insect netting that I already had over top of them. And then I used the other pieces that were left from the crop cages to make a trellis. I bought a trellis netting, and this is how it came out. I think it looks pretty good. And I have another one all the way over there in the same place, but in the same type of beds, but on the other side of the garden. I really did want to get cattle panel trellis, but I also did not want to get rid of this trellis. I really do like it. It serves its purpose, so I wanted it to match. I wanted whatever I did over here to match this. Now, I do believe that cattle panel trellis is more aesthetic looking, in my opinion. I do like it, but I do feel like, because I get like such a good amount of sun out here, and it's hot, sometimes it feels hotter than what the temperature really is out here, because it's so wide open and the sun is just beating down. I feel like the cattle panel trellis would get too hot for the plants. I think it would scorch the plants that I will put on there. But if you have it somewhere like in a shaded area or something, I think that it does well, and it looks so pretty. So I'm jealous of y'all who have cattle panel trellis, because I think it's really pretty. This is my broccoli bed. I direct sowed some carrots in here, and I have onions, sage over there in the corner. I already put my marigolds in here. I have a lot of marigolds left, so if these don't make it, it's just fine. I just wanted to see if they would. And I have some thyme over here in the corner. Onions are on each side of the carrots. But broccoli are in here, and I also have shade cloth that I put over these beds when it's super hot outside, so that I can slow down the bolting process of these plants, because I know brassicas do not like the heat. Now over here in this bed, I have my collard green plants. So I have 5 collard green plants in here. And then I have beets that I direct sowed, celery in these 2 spaces. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have celery in here, onions in the 4 corners, and in the middle are the collards. Now I need to get more clips to pin down my insect netting, but I'll get those later. Okay, we'll come back to the green stalks later as well. But in this bed, I did not fill it completely, because I know that green beans do not need a really deep soil, I guess. They don't have really deep root systems. I'm pretty sure that they're shallow, if I'm not mistaken. So this entire 8x4 bed will be filled with green beans. So last week I sowed green beans in here. I sowed the Big Kahuna garden beans, the tender green improved jade bush beans, and provider beans. And then 2 weeks from that date, I'm going to sow another 4 square feet of green beans. So every 2 weeks, I'll sow more green beans until the bed is filled. Now, I did direct sow some pole beans in here. So I did the purple potted pole beans, and there was another green one that I sowed on each side. This bed will have melons in there, and I also put out a hollyhock in the corner. I don't know if I have enough time for it to reach its mature height, but I'm gonna see. But I also have corn, melons, and beans in these 10-foot by 3-foot beds. And then over here, I plan to put my sweet potato plants in here and let the leaves trellis up. Try to coach the vines up the trellis so that I can avoid having them all over the ground. I know that some will still get down there, but for the majority, I want them to climb up the trellis. I think it will be really pretty as well. I have 9 Albion ever-bearing strawberry roots in this bed. And I also sowed some in my daughter's green stalk. But back here, we have all of my potato bags. And up until this point, they have potatoes in there, and they already started to sprout up, as you can see. And I've healed them. I think I healed them 2 days ago, so they're doing really good. So I'm going to heal them until I get to the top of the bags. And they all started to sprout. So they're doing really well. And I still have more potatoes to sow out here. So I have these bags that I needed to get some more soil to put in these bags to sow the rest of my potatoes in the house. And then these 2 I need to get tomato cages for. I still have quite a bit of things inside of my greenhouses. I still have my tomatoes and peppers in there. And with the cold nights that we have gotten the last couple nights, I have been putting hot water jugs in there so that they can keep warm over the course of the night and morning so that they will not be affected by the cold. So that is a tip that you can use if you are afraid of the cold taking your plants out inside of the greenhouse. And also, I try to keep them closed down if it's cold outside during the day. I try to keep them closed down, and when the sun is beaming on the greenhouse, it is super warm in there still, but I crack it just a little bit so the airflow can come in and out of there. So I have these extra bags that I'm going to set up for maybe tomatoes or potatoes. I'm not for sure yet, but I found these old bags, and I think that's what I'm going to use them for. If not, I'll find another use for them. You know, like, even if you expand your space, you still feel like you don't have enough space. Crazy, I know, but you do feel that way. This is my fig tree. I thought it was gone, but I'm starting to see some green up there. It is waking up. I thought it was dead, but it's waking up now. And then I have these 4 broccoli plants back here. So I have Arcadia broccoli, and there was, what was the other one? What's this one? Arcadia, and this one is a green magic broccoli. And I am starting to see a broccoli head in here. So hopefully they hurry up before it gets too hot out here. I haven't seen them look stressed or anything. They still look pretty good. So I'm going to leave them until they start to bolt. But hopefully I get a harvest before they do. So I have two of these beds on each side. And I have some chives planted in here, lettuce and strawberries. So these are the Albion, I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me go on this side and see. Well, no, it's a little dark over here. The Albion ever-bearing strawberries here, marigold, and it's holding on in the cool temps. Some more chives in here, more lettuce, and strawberries over here in the corner. And in this bed, I have some calendula that I need to come and harvest. Some of them already need to be popped off. The calendula in the corners was chard, which is starting to grow because it was super little. I was concerned about it not making it. Some more Swiss chard. These are really small. Some carrots, the red cord Chantenay carrots, and It says black seeded Simpson lettuce back here. And then this one is a prize head lettuce. Well, I don't know which one's a prize because these look like, oh no, they don't. It's on beets on this side. So these are the 5-color rainbow gourmet beets in this area. Now I'm going to go over here so you guys can see. So this is my cabbage bed that I snuck some cauliflower inside of. A few onions in here. Well, I think these are garlic. This is a garlic here. But then I have some onions and things in here as well. Lettuces in this bed. Let me see if I take this off so you guys can see inside of the bed really good. But I have some cabbages in the middle. These onions, some cauliflower back here, and lettuces and lettuce over there, and sage in the corners. So hopefully these beds do really well for me until it gets hot out here, because I know that they probably won't last too long into the summer. But like I was saying, I do have shade cloth. I forgot the percentage of my shade cloth, but I do have shade cloth. Okay, now onto this bed. Now this is my kale bed. It's doing pretty good. So I put some of the garlic in this bed. I have lacinato kale, premier kale, dazzling blue kale. What is the other one? A dwarf blue curled kale. And then another dazzling blue. Onions back there. What else? I sowed beets in between those little onions that you see. And beets over here as well. So they have not sprouted up yet. I do think I see some, but they're still like kind of hiding inside of the oh, I do see them sprouting. So yeah, I do see my beets. My beets are starting to come up. Now I can show you the other 10x3 bed, and then we can move on to the green stalks. Now I have a hollyhock over here. There will be beans, corn, and melons and pumpkins in this bed. Some more purple potted pole beans to go up this trellis. And over here I sowed some garlic, but I'll have some tomatoes and things in this bed. I think I had cucumbers at this one. So let me see. They haven't sprouted yet, but I put some butterfly peas at the edges of each of my trellises, even this one, and that one over there. So I thought that would be super pretty to have the butterfly peas come up and over the edges of these trellises. So I have some lettuce that I had left over, and I felt like I needed to put them somewhere because I didn't want them to go to waste. And at least until they bolt, I can try to get some harvest off of them. But they look pretty good. I transplanted them the other day, and they're looking pretty good. Now I did put a cabbage, and a broccoli. I just wanted to see if I could get something out of them. Now I do have a ton of brassicas left because I sowed a lot of seeds in the winter. So I mean, if something fails in here, I can always pop another one in here. But this bed I planned out to be for my tomatoes and things like that, but I don't think it's going to work for those, because if you can see, my sun is being shaded by this tree, and this tree only gets greener. So I'm already knowing that this bed is going to get shaded, so I should probably put some things that can tolerate the shade that this side of the bed gets, because this part gets a decent amount of sunlight. So yeah. Now over here is my beautiful black green stalk. Oh well, let me show you the other bed first. So on to my other 4x2 bed. So this is bed 17, and I just put some of my extra flowers in here. I wanted to have a pollinator friendly space. I have my blueberry bushes here that I really want to put them in a different container. I'm not really, see, this bag is already starting to rip, so I want to put them in something else. really soon. I just don't know when I'll be able to do it. I think I'm gonna wait until after the season and then maybe or when it goes dormant or whatever. I think I may change them into another container. I have some round uh round raised beds that I can probably put them in and see how they do. But I put some Dusty Miller in this bed. My husband kicked all this grass up in here, but straw flowers in the front, zinnias in the right here, and what is that? Straw flowers. These are asters in the corners, and then I have snapdragons in the middle. I have a hollyhock on each side, and then cosmos in the back. So hopefully it's not too crowded in this bed. I hope that it turns out really pretty, because I did plan for this to have food in it, but I wanted everything to be like what I had on that side. I wanted on this side, and that's how I wanted the garden to be. Aside from the potato bags, I didn't want to have potatoes over there and over here like that, but I wanted to have the same amount of beds on this side as I have on this side. Now onto my green stalks. This is one of my beautiful black green stalks, and I have lettuce, arugula, onions, some spinach. I've been out here harvesting food as well. More arugula and spinach. Spinach down here in these pockets. Lettuce, cilantro that has already started to flower. And then onions. I have calendula, lettuce, more lettuce, onions. And that's pretty much it in this green stalk. Everything seems to be doing really well out here. They probably are enjoying this cool weather. But look at this little bulb. Hopefully I get some big juicy onions this time. I haven't really had much success growing onions, so I'm really hoping that I get some. And then in this one, I have brassicas in there. Some cauliflowers, some kales, kohlrabis, onions, and everything is doing really well. My onions are still kind of small. Now I do have to come out here and like turn it, just because I feel like when the sun goes up and over, it hides behind the tree, and then these don't get much sun after that. But I don't have a problem coming out and turning it when I need to. Now, it looks like something's been... Oh, no, it doesn't. It's just ripped. I was about to say something was eating on that. This is my... meant to mention my little... What is this? My blackberry plant. Hopefully, I get some this year. This is my first year with this thing, and hoping that it does well. Let me go back over here and show you my eucalyptus plant. Now, I'll probably put it in too big of a pot, but it's in there now. If it starts to do bad, I'll take it out and put it in something smaller. Lettuce up here. Lettuce. I direct sowed some carrot seeds and they have not come up yet. I probably should cover them and keep it moist. And look at my chives, y'all. I need to come and harvest some and cut these little buds off, because they want to flower already. But I've never seen them up close, so I kind of want to let it, because I have so many other... These are garlic chives. I have so many other chives, so I think I might let it, because it has a lot of them up there. There is anise hyssop right here. And then I have these window boxes that I put at the edges of these beds. I'll probably try to find some type of hook to keep them up on there. And we can go on to these next green stalks. So this is my evergreen green stalk, and I have another one on that side. I dedicated these green stalks just to my pollinator flowers. I could have been putting food in here, but I want to make sure my pollinators are out here doing the job, and I want to make sure they have a good space, a safe space to come and forage out here. In this pollinator green stalk, I have cosmos, zinnias, snapdragons, asters, Dusty Miller, petunias. And I think that is it for inside of this one. But they are doing really well. I was scared that they weren't going to do well because it got cold out, but they are still standing tall. And I'm proud of them. Now I'm starting to get strawberries up here. This is my lemon green stalk, and I have nothing but strawberries in here. Now some of them look like they are gone, but the rest of them are looking pretty good. They are pretty green. I did give them a productivity boost. I think it was in March, I believe. I gave them some productivity boosts, and if you want me to show you how to make that, just comment below. But these ones just aren't doing well, but I'm gonna leave them long enough to be able to tell if they come alive or not. But if they don't, I'll pull them, and once these start to sprout runners, I'll just put them into the next tier. So it works out either way for me. Now this is my daughter's green stalk, and she also has the Albion everbearing strawberries, and I purchased them from Plant and Heal, and she is going to be in charge of whatever she wants to plant in here. So I'm going to let her. I do need to get 3 more spinner bases for this one, and the other evergreen on the other side, so that we don't have to come out here. Well, I mean, it gets good sun, but I still want her to be able to spin it. And then these 2 lilac green stalks, so this one and this one, that has brassicas, calendula, and look at these, y'all. So pretty. My fennel looks really good. My onions are looking good. Quite a bit of kales. I have some cabbages, and more of these right here. I have some nasturtiums. They are starting to look better because they looked terrible the other day. I thought I was gonna have to replace them, but this one looks really good. This cabbage looks pretty good as well. So the green stalks are doing well. And then over here, more of my, look at that aphid up there, smushing. But they are doing really good. Look at this. This one is the prettiest one because it's standing up how it's supposed to. It's not like leaning and falling all out the pocket. This looks very pretty. So I'm hoping that these fill out and they look really good on camera. I have onions and Swiss chard in here. I think this is dill. I think so. I think it's dill. More nasturtiums, more calendula at the top. I have some collards and some cabbages in here, and they are doing pretty good. And then the green stalk over here is my herb green stalk. So this is another lemon one. They are doing well. Everything is starting to fill out. I just planted this one out. When was this? I think it was on Saturday. I planted these things in here, and they are doing good. I need to harvest some chives. I need to come and harvest some of these chamomile flowers. But yeah. And why y'all didn't tell me that sweet marjoram smells so good? Oh my goodness. Like, I come out here and just smell it. It smells like a perfume. It smells so good. Now, on to this green stalk. Now, I think these are asters or starflowers. And everything is doing good. I have some nasturtiums. I direct sowed some teddy bear sunflowers in the empty pockets. And like here I did. But yeah, I have zinnias and things like that, nasturtiums, petunias. I really hope that these pollinator green stalks are so pretty during the season and that they are good to the pollinators. I also have these 2 green stalks that I've dedicated to my sweet peppers and my hot peppers, so they will be going in these. Now I'm a little concerned about the leaf pockets for peppers, but I'm gonna try them anyway and see, because I think that I have some, like the cayenne peppers, they are kind of small, so I think they will do well in these pockets. Now every pocket will not be filled with peppers. I think that I have like basil and things that are going into some of the pockets as a means of pest control. So I know these trellises look pretty short, but I assure you I can fit through them. I'm only 5 foot tall. My husband was like, these things look really short, but look, I can walk right through here without bumping my head. So it does work out. But yeah, I do love my new garden space. I think that everything came out better than I expected. And I'm really hoping that I have like a really good garden season. I put in a lot of work to get this done in time for the spring season. I am going to top these beds off. I would like for them to be higher, so at least to up a little, up to the last little curve in the bed. So I want to top them all off. So I'm thinking about doing that. Now I don't know, I think that the brassicas will be fine with me doing that, but what else do I have that may not like that? I just don't want it. If I do that, I don't want it to affect my garlic and my onions that I sowed in these beds. So I don't know if I should wait until the season is over before I do that, but we'll see. This is a journey, and everything is about experimentation. I have a lot of plants still that I could put out here if these ones don't do well. So I'm not really worried about losing anything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be uploading more really soon. I did start my squash, zucchini, melons, and cucumbers. I started some sunflowers as well. So in my next updates, I'll show you guys the updates on the tomatoes and the peppers and the other things that I have in the greenhouse. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.